Alright, Diary of a Lost Child by Quando Rondo. I have never actually listened to Quando before. I think Tyler has reviewed an album from him like a while ago now. But yeah, with a name like that, I am expecting trap, obviously. Quando Rondo sounds quite trap, kind of like Quavo, or I don't know, that 6ix9ine song, Rondo. I think that's, I don't know. Anyway, it rings trap to me. But then you look at the album names and some of the track names, and they just suggest otherwise. You know, Diary of a Lost Child for the album name. Some of the song names are like Pain and Process, Pain Inside of Me, Materialistic Pain, Depression. It sounds like something I'll enjoy, but it sounds very mature. Yeah, none of the names are like Trap House or Plug Talk. You know, that they are mature and they show a bit of, maturity and self-awareness. Once I hit play, I found out that it's actually a really nice and solid middle ground between the two. Like, the beat is definitely trap. His flow and delivery is very fast. It's upbeat, kind of like trap, I suppose you could say. But his lyrics are more on the intelligent side. In the very first track, it appears he is talking to the Lord. Asking why it seems his life is full of problems. One thing that makes Quando different from the other sort of mature trap rappers is that he doesn't steer away from the track's topic in the verses. Yeah, he stays on point. So what I'm talking about there is like rappers say like Kodak Black, you know, with Tunnel Vision. It's a great song, I like it, don't get me wrong. But the chorus is very mature, talking about sort of prison time, he doesn't want to go back, and how everyone wants to put him there. But then in the verses, he's all, that shit make me come, it make me fornicate. I'm the shit, I need some toilet paper. And he's little Kodak in the Wraith, I just bought a Wraith, or something in the first verse. Like, he's steered completely away from, like, talking about prison there. And Quando isn't like that. He stays on topic throughout the entire track. He brings up the loss of his little cousin, being locked up and having nothing to do but focus on rapping. And the classic, my friends are only here for my money. There were some tracks that he missed on though. Pray For Me, I think, is the biggest one. I think that's like track 2 or 3, where he just says, don't pray for me, pray for the ops, pray for the block, pray for the cops, because they're the ones that will need your prayers. He's fine, they're his opposition, they need the prayers, not him. He's strong, but like, that's, I thought that wasn't that bad, and the verses had no meaning or value either. One lyric I do really like though is in My Feelings. He's talking about the loss of his little cousin, and then right at the end of the last verse he says, can't forget to mention that little homie took the CRIP route. And spelling it out like that reveals, the RIP that lays within the word, basically saying if you mess around with gangs, CRIP, Crips, you will end up dead. Not to say that you can mess around with the Bloods. I think he's more generally referring to gangs, not one specific gang, But yeah, on the flip side, he does have a very weird lyric in Depression. Might have a baby with this Haitian bitch, just so my child be foreign. I thought that was, it doesn't add anything to the song. It's not related to anything. It doesn't mean anything. Why is it in there? Why add that? One thing he does that I dislike as well is the old Dirty Harry, but he does it heavy. The Dirty Harry is when, instead of... I'm just going to read this because I've written it down in a specific way, and if I don't, I'm going to forget it and I will butcher it. So a Dirty Harry is, rather than just rap like this and keep on going through all of the lyrics, what he'll do is chop out the gap in between the lyrics so it sounds like one take, but it really isn't. You see what I mean? I think the worst offender for that was verse 2 in Pain and Process. I will play that for a little bit, but he has like the lyrics overlapping, so not only is it hard to hear, but you can't like rap along with it either, and I think that was just a massive miss. You can't hear it. But yeah, I don't like that one bit. I think that overall, like, the biggest drawback of this album, it has to be the mixing. It's very muddy and sloppy overall, and his flows like that, it gets very sloppy at times as well, as you've just heard. That was incredibly sloppy. Like, he's got a lot of talent and definitely has his own sound. Like, his voice as well is just, unique in itself, let alone what he sort of raps about. So, like, I don't doubt that he can go far, but it does need to be a lot cleaner, like all throughout the project. He needs to stop with the Dirty Harrys. He needs to sort of fix up the bass on the mixing and sort of help separate all of like the vocals, the bass, the hi-hats, rather than sort of jumble it all together. He needs to help like smooth it out, He said in Pain and Process, trying to figure out why I'm not platinum and I'm snapping damn near every song. It's because to the average listener it doesn't sound good. I understand that this is done on purpose and he wants it to sound like this, but the majority of people listen to mainstream rap and only care if it sounds good. That's why Drake and Post have the reach that they have. Sometimes they don't talk about anything. Tootsie Slide isn't really about anything. Circles, as far as I can tell, isn't really about anything. But it sounds good, so people like it. And yeah, like I said, I know it's mixed that way on purpose, and that he wants it to sound like that. There's definitely some people out there who do like it, but if he's complaining about why he isn't going as big as he hopes, this could be a contributing factor as to why it's not happening. But yeah, I did think it was better than most trap albums out there, and he is better than most trap artists out there, but it did still have a lot of its flaws. Yeah, if you want to listen to mature rap, or if I want to listen to mature rap, I'm going to go with an album that sounds a lot cleaner, like Apology, for example. He talks about a lot of the same topics, actually. They are very similar artists, but Apology has a lot more of a polished sound, even though he's got, I think, less albums too, to be honest. I'll double check that. I'll fact check it in post. But yeah, I think Apology has less albums than Quando Rondo, and he's got a much cleaner sound. If Quando can sort of achieve that sort of level of like polish, I think, yeah, he could really, really go somewhere. If I want mature, I'll go somewhere like J. Cole or, I don't know, Saba or Smino or anyone like that. Like there are a heap of mature artists out there. If I want mature trap, I would definitely go to Apology over Quando Rondo here. He sounds better. He can do all of the same categories, but the sound good that Quando's sort of struggling in, Apology can do. So he's got that one on top of Quando. So yeah, I think I'm going to rate it a 6 out of 10 because it is good. And it is very good for what it is as well, which is trap. I think it's, it is one of the better trap albums out there, which, to be completely fair, isn't really saying that much. If you want to sort of sit down and dissect trap, there's never really that much to do. But it definitely is up there for best of trap albums of all time. It's just, it has that one big drawback of being muddy. 6 out of 10 for Quando. Hopefully when you tune in tomorrow, we'll both be here. I'll see you then. That's a wrap.